Mastodon,
Pterodactyl,
Triceratops,
Chicken!
Tyranno, what? Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Important Reviews. My name's Steve, and today I'll be going over the Bandai Legacy Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Blue, Black, and Pink Ranger. Finally, I've been able to acquire these guys. Recently showed up at a Toys R Us in my area, so I picked them all up because I imagine these guys, just like the Red and Green Ranger, are going to go very, very fast in my area, so I had to snatch these guys up when I got them. They're going to run you somewhere around $20 a piece, but there's only these three in the line, plus two Space Rangers, the Yellow and the Red Ranger. And sadly, we have to wait for the White and Yellow Ranger to be in the next set. But if you guys didn't know, these are from the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger TV show, with the Rangers in question being Billy, Zach, and Kimberly, which this one I've been looking so forward to, because I sold my Figure Arts Pink Ranger a while back because I wasn't really planning on getting the rest of the line. And glad I finally got a decent looking one back in my collection. Well, at least it looks decent in the package. We'll know a little bit more after I get this open up, but I imagine these are going to be mostly like the previous ones I've already done with the Green and Red Ranger. Just essentially just new helmets, except for Kimberly here being mostly a new mold. So I'm really excited to get these guys next to my other Rangers. So without further ado, further packaging, mostly the same as what we got with the original run, except for you actually have the Rangers on the front of the packaging, actually in their suits, which is cool. It's not actually the figure inside of the packaging. You can see the folding of the fabric on the bottom here. But each Ranger has their respective Ranger on the front, limited edition, build a Zord, and each of these come with separate pieces for a Zord, with Billy coming with the Triceratops leg, and the other two Rangers coming with the left and right arm for the Dino Megazord. And then for the sides of the packaging for these guys, just clear translucent plastic and a little bit more of that lightning effect that we see on predominantly on the package. Actually, I want to point out too is that the lightning bolts on here actually correspond with the Rangers, with the Blue Ranger having blue bolts. There's pink ones there, and we got some actual black lightning bolts, which is cool to see. On the back of the packaging, just shows you that when you have all the Rangers combined with the Dino Megazord, other figures in the line, which we already went over, some Lego Mumbo Jumbos on the bottom, ages 4 and up. So, let's get these guys open up out of their cardboard/plastic prisons. Alright, so before we get into the Rangers in the background, real quick, I want to point out, when you get these extra pieces for the Dino Megazord out of the packaging, you're gonna have to assemble the shoulder pads on here, because I thought maybe it was just the one that I got when I initially got the Pink Ranger out of the package. She came with this one, the left arm, right arm, and the shoulder pad was popped out. So I thought that was a little weird, but I figured it was just something like, it happens, you know. But then I got the Black Ranger out, and his was exactly the same way, and I noticed that's just the way that they had it packaged. So his was just kind of like resting on top in there. So you're going to have to attach this to the top, which what you're going to have to do is there's two little pegs, one right there, and one on the top here, and you're gonna have to pop them in here. I'm gonna bring it up though that it is a pain in the butt to do. It might be a little easier on this one, but the Pink Ranger was a little bit of a fight, which this peg's a little larger on the other side, so I just recommend going into it, like getting that one in there first, and you kind of just have to force the other one in. It's the only thing I'm really noticing, but it likes to slide. Third one pop, there we go. So once you get it in, this part actually does articulate, so it swings up and down. The arms bend in and out. No rotation at the arm though, but the hand is actually on a ball joint, so decent amount of articulation there as well. And it does come with a grip for the hand, so if they do end up coming out the sword eventually, you will be able to actually have them hold on to it. And the other arm is literally the exact same thing, just opposite arm. And then we get the leg here for the Blue Ranger, which actually has a crap ton of ball joints on it, which is nice to see, because you can see foot articulates, top section here articulates as well. You can rotate them both, they swing in and out, really nice bend to it. So it looks like he's going to have really nice articulation in the legs. The arms might not be so great. You know what, hold on a sec. Grabbing the Dino Megazord here for a second. Let's just pop these in there. Oh god, that's a tight fit. Not too worried about heating this up. Just gonna pain in the butt to get in there. Here, you just sit off for a minute. There we go. Now let's pop this back on. Seems like we got a decent amount of articulation there on the arms. Swings back and forth. And the bend works pretty well there too. Kind of wish there was maybe a pivot here at the bicep. Would have been really nice to see, so we could swing side to side, but still pretty good for a stateside figure anyways. Let's get his leg on too while we're at it. See if how well that's gonna move in here. Yeah, not too shabby. Okay, that pops out real easy, but you're gonna be able to pose him a little bit, it appears. We're gonna need Trini here to finish off the Megazord, but so far, not too bad. Just to show a size comparison, he's gonna be a huge toy when he's all put together. Alright, and then for a closer look at their details, we're gonna start with the Blue Ranger here and then glance over most of the rest of his body, because primarily it's the same as what we got with the Red Ranger, so the only big difference is that each of the Rangers are the corresponding color, with Blue Ranger being blue, of course. But their helmets are going to be drastically different between the two, which for the Blue Ranger's helmet definitely looks really nice. Has that Triceratops appearance with some gold paint here for his eyes, and it kind of looks like you see a little bit of a pupil. This side, the gold's coming off just a little bit, which is a bummer to see right out of the packaging. But for being a $20 figure, I'm going to let that one slide for now. For the top, horns are done in a silver paint job. Same with the horn on the front. Got some metallic silver here for the mouthpiece. Some gloss white here for the outlining for the Triceratops mouth. And some gloss black for the visor. And you got that little line coming across the back here for some added detail. For the body, very muscular for a Power Ranger. I do not remember them being nearly this buff in the TV series. These Rangers got some serious gains going on, if you know what I'm saying. But I actually like the appearance. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Ultra Act figures being a little bit more stylized. So these are, just to me, just a little bit more stylized Rangers. Like if they brought this back nowadays, this is how I imagine they would look. For the arms, nice little bicep going on there. Got their gloves with the little diamond patterns going around the sides of the glove in this corresponding colors. Hands in a gripping pattern for a weapon that they didn't come with. They only come with the Blade Blaster here on the side, which each Ranger comes with their Blade Blaster. For the Blade Blaster for the front of the weapon here is done in a gloss white paint job with red plastic here for the handle, and some metallic silver here for the barrel. The only thing that sucks is it's retracted, so it fits really nicely in the holster, but it's not really meant to be a weapon in this form. So, it's cool that he comes with it, because I generally would have just kept the Blade Blaster in here anyways. I don't really want to pose them with the guns, because I want to pose them with the power weapons, but they don't have their power weapons. Why don't they have their power weapons, Bandai? For their waist, they come with their little morpher, which the Blue Ranger comes with the Triceratops coin in the center. Looks pretty nice overall. For the back, yep. Moving down to the legs, a little bit more muscular than your average Ranger, with the boots here having the same diamond pattern we've seen on the gloves, and a little bit of added detail for the bottom here and the soles. Then moving on to the Black Ranger with the Mastodon helmet. You have some gloss white here for the front of the tusk, and around the visor here, some metallic silver here for the mouthpiece, and also on the tusk, with some metallic gold paint here for the eyes. Looks really sweet, and you have a little bit of a extra plate here for the earpiece. Body, literally the same thing as what we got with the Blue Ranger, just black. And then for his belt, he has the Mastodon morpher here with the little coin on the front here. Also forgot to mention that metallic gold with metallic silver here for the morpher, some gloss black for the carrying case, and some red here for around the coin. And then the rest of the belt is just done in metallic silver. And that's pretty much all we got here for the Black Ranger. And then for my personal favorite, the Pink Ranger. At least out of the ones I have, because I don't know. I just like the female Rangers. It's weird. Other than Tommy. Tommy's the shiz. But anyways, for her helmet, looks really good. We have the pterodactyl on the front. And then the one thing I always thought was kind of weird is like the pterodactyl, you have the head here, and then it's supposed to be like the wings coming around the sides of the helmet here. And then it has the gloss black here on the side. So it's odd because everybody else is essentially the animal's mouths, while hers is like black knights. Like the pterodactyl's flying around at night, and that's what she sees out of. It's weird. For the back of the helmet, it's done in a very nice gloss white. Though this helmet, I would actually be a little bit careful with, because this one you could probably nick pretty easily, I would imagine. But you also have some metallic silver here for the mouthpiece. Looks really good. And then for her body, it's definitely a lot more feminine, which of course it should be. But you can see here that Kimberly's packing a little bit more than I remember from the TV show. It looks really nice overall, because they are, again, a little bit more stylized and yes. And then she has the diamond pattern on the front of her chest here. For her morpher, she has the pterodactyl coin with her little holster for the blade blaster on the side here. She actually has a skirt, which is nice to see because she did in the TV show, and has these little slits on the side to supposedly help the articulation. But anyways, her arms are a little bit more slender, but you can see here for the shoulder section here, it actually connects very nicely with the arm. Unlike what we saw with these guys, which I kind of glanced over a bit because we already did that in a previous review. But I never really liked the way that this looked on the standard Rangers for the male bodies anyways. But on the Pink Ranger, looks perfectly fine. I don't really have anything to really complain about with her a little bit more slender arms and the smaller glove that she has. And then for her legs, slightly muscular with her small boots and no heels. Good to see that, because I don't imagine how you could fight in heels, because like these guys have a little bit more heel than what she has, so pretty cool to see. Could have seen them being a little bit more stylized there, but they didn't go that route, and I appreciate it. I'm going to primarily go over the Pink Ranger here, because mostly the articulation is pretty much the same on everybody else, but I'll kind of go over the subtle differences between them. But for her head, can rotate all the way around, can look a little bit forward, a little bit back, no real rotation there. Her shoulders can go that far up, that far down, all the way around. Has a rotation at the upper portion of the bicep, a bend here at the elbow, no double joint though, which is a little bit odd to see because the male Rangers have a double joint, but because hers are a little bit smaller in terms of her arm size, she doesn't get that. But her hand can rotate all the way around and can move forward and back, and actually technically has like 2 points it could rotate, but you can only really do it at the one. Also has a rotation here at the wrist. Her waist can rotate mostly side to side. Can't really get all the way around because the molding here for around her chest gets in the way of that. But my Pink Ranger's waist is a little bit loose, so she could do a little bit of a dance for you guys. But anyways, for her waist can rotate side to side as well. Can't rotate really all the way around for her, but still a crap ton of motion there, as you guys can see. Now for her legs, her skirt kind of gets in the way of the articulation here, because you can move her legs out a little bit, but I wouldn't want to go too crazy because you could probably tear this portion of her skirt, and we really don't want to do that. So I'm going to say you can get it about here without any problem, so not a whole lot of motion there. And not really a forward and back, because her butt gets in the way of the back, so that's about as far as you're getting, and the skirt gets in the way going forward. So, she's probably going to be the disposable one herself, which is kind of odd to see because she's like the gymnast of the group, so it's throwing me off a bit that she isn't the most articulated one. But her knee has a double joint, so you can bend that forward and back very nicely. Also has a rotation at the upper portion of the thigh, rotation at the base of the knee, and for her feet, can go up and down, and not really rotate on this side. Actually, I can't really get a rotation really out of either of these sides. Alright, so for this one, it's mainly going forward and back, at least on mine. Now to point out the differences between the two, for the male Rangers, he has a ratchet joint in his shoulders, which is throwing me off a little bit because you can hear it, which kind of helps with the articulation, but it just makes moving his shoulders a little bit more of a pain than previously. Because the Red Ranger didn't have that, which I kind of like because I can imagine that the joints here is going to loosen up over time. And with the ratchet joint that we have here, you're not going to really have that problem. But it just kind of threw me off a bit because that wasn't the area that I was fully expecting it to. And then at the male's elbows, just like we mentioned, it does have a double joint, so these do articulate very nicely. And then for their legs, you can go forward about that far, and then back only about that far because the molding for the butt kind of gets in the way, just like on the Pink Ranger. But other than that, pretty much everything else is the same between everyone else, except for you can rotate these guys all the way around at their waist. And then they only can swivel their chest forward and back, unlike what we saw at Pink, where she could kind of go wherever she felt like. And for this quick comparison, here we have our blue, black, and pink Legacy Collection figures next to the red and green Ranger from the same line. And here they are next to the Bandai Legacy Series Dino Megazord and Dragonzord. And here they are compared next to some original Legacy Collection Power Ranger figures with the movie Pink and White Ranger. Which, sad to see the size difference because these guys only ran about $5 more than these guys originally ran, which is kind of depressing now that I think about it. And for a more weird comparison, here we have them compared next to the Celtic Predator and the Great Alien from the Alien vs. Predator 2-pack from NECA. So over the Power Ranger Legacy Collection, Pink, Blue, and Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I still really like these figures. I really loved the Green and Red Ranger when they came out. Still really love these figures too. It's just, I wish they came with their power weapons. Like, Bandai, give us a set for that eventually. Like, give us an Alpha 5 that comes with all the weapons. Please? Pretty please? Really need that. But without it, there'll still be a nice little stylized version of the Rangers to add to your collection, and the Pink Ranger is by far my personal favorite out of the line as of right now. Even with her more limited leg articulation, I just think the seam lines for her joints line up a lot better than what we got with the male Rangers. But the Green Ranger is probably your most bang for buck figure that I've seen so far in the line. So if you guys missed out on the SH Figure Arts version of the Power Rangers and want some more posable, more stylized Rangers to add to your collection, then definitely recommend picking up the Legacy Collection Rangers. But what do you guys think? If you guys picked up the Legacy Collection Power Ranger figures, what's your favorite Power Ranger? Or is VR Trooper just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We will have this review posted sooner on our website, www.superimportantreviews.com. Definitely make sure to go check that out periodically because we generally put the reviews up on there a day before we put them up on the channel. So if you guys wanted to get a little bit of an insight of what's going to be popping up on here, definitely recommend checking out the website. We also post recent acquisition pictures, which I will be starting back up on because I finally got moved into my new place, so I can keep up on that. And any pre-orders that pop up that seem of interest to what I might be ordering for the channel too will definitely be up on there as well. Also, closer pictures up on our website if you want to click the link description below. And we have a Patreon account if you want to help to support the channel, also down there in the description below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a Ranger today, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.